Kamala Harris ran for president by rushing to the radical left, embracing Bernie's plan for socialized medicine, calling for trillions in new taxes, attacking Joe Biden for racist policies. Voters rejected Harris. They smartly spotted a phony. But not Joe Biden. He's not that smart. Biden calls himself a transition candidate. He is handing over the reins to Kamala while they jointly embrace the radical left. Slow Joe and phony Kamala. Perfect together. Wrong for America.
Right?
What's going on, everybody? Ronnie Lucero, the Conservative Latino with the LEXIT movement in New Mexico. And we got my man, Angel Rivera, the Puerto Rican conservative in New York. Angel, what's going on, my man?
Ronnie, it's great to be here, man. This is our first episode, the Right Latinos and the LEXIT movement, man. We're ready to do some great stuff.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we've gotten a lot of messages. We've had a lot of comments about people asking us to continue to do this. So we decided to do this once a week on Monday nights, every Monday. Angel, man, I think our productions department, Duke Machado, they're doing an outstanding job on trying to get this out, man. What do you think about the progress we're making?
Oh, man, we have a great team. We have, not only are they great on everything they do, but they're great people, great friends. They've become almost like family to us, man. So I appreciate them. I love them. And, you know, we're working hard to push this conservative message out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, guys, so a lot of you guys have watched our shows, and there's a lot of people that have not heard about what we do yet. The LEXIT movement is specifically designed to help educate the Latinos in the United States about what the Democratic Party is about and how we need to exit that party. In nature, conservatives or Latinos are conservative by nature. And every Monday night, we're just going to talk about subjects. We're going to talk about news. We're going to give it to you the way it is. We don't spin anything. We're just going to speak the facts. So hang tight tonight, guys. We got a good episode. And tonight, the first thing that we're going to talk about, guys, is the injured veteran hoax that the Democrats are pushing on President Trump. Angel, what do you think about what's happening with this hoax, man?
Another hoax? I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked that the Democrats would do a hoax. Like, they've never done this before, Ronnie. How dare they bring on hoax? You know, it's not even impactful anymore. Like, you come out with these hoax and these lies every 5 minutes. It's like, it's lost its luster. It's lost its effect. You know, like, after a while, even the people on the left are starting to see that you're not going to get far with this.
You know, and if you think about it, the Democrats strategically plan every single hoax that they have created since the president was elected in November of 2016. And I just want to touch base a little bit on this veterans hoax, guys. Take a look at this video real quick.
Lives. You know, nobody talks about the soldiers that are coming back with no arms and no legs. And I saw at Mar-a-Lago on Mondays, I make Mar-a-Lago my club that you know about.
In Palm Beach.
I make that twice now. On a Monday, I let returning Iraqi injured soldiers come to the premises. The most beautiful people I've ever seen. But they're missing arms and legs. They're with their wives. Sometimes they're with their girlfriends. And the tears are coming down the faces of these people. I mean, the thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands. And the Iraqis that have been just maimed and killed. This war is a horrible thing. Now, President Bush says he's religious. And yet 400,000 people, the way I count it, have died. And probably millions have been badly maimed and injured. What's going on? What's going on? And the day we pull out, it's going to explode.
All right, guys. So you guys got a chance to see what the president actually said in this video with Wolf Blitzer in 2007, guys. This is actual footage, the actual words from the president talking about injured veterans without arms, without legs, and how they're beautiful people. And I'm going to just kind of reiterate exactly what he said in this video. Spread the word, people, so that way you guys understand what this president is going through. Quote, nobody talks about the soldiers that are coming back with no arms or no legs. I make my club on Mondays, 2 times on Mondays. I let returning injured Iraqi soldiers come on the premises. The most beautiful people I have ever seen, but they're missing arms, they're missing legs. This war is a horrible thing. End of quote. This president, in his own words, praised the returning injured veterans, people that have lost arms, people that have lost legs, people that have lost friends, family in these tragic wars that the establishment has created. So there we have it. The president's own words in video, what he actually thinks about these people, not what the establishment and the mainstream media is telling us that sources said anything. Angel, what do you think about this video?
Well, of course, this video is one of many. The president is known over and over how much he praises the veterans, how much he praises the military, how much he gives praise and understanding and love for the sacrifices the veterans have done. Like, I don't think anyone really believes this story, because if anyone follows what President Trump has said for the past 4 years, they know his love and devotion, not only for this country, but for the vets. It's incredible. So when you come out with this story, again, with anonymous sources, how convenient. And they come out with anonymous sources. The media grabs anonymous sources and they run with it. They don't verify. They don't look. They goes, oh, we're taking someone, some guesses. Okay, sure, let's use that. And front page news with information that, isn't verifiable. And then when you have people, obviously, that were in that alleged meeting, they came out and said, no, that was never said. We had 2 people in the meeting, came out and said, Trump never said that. But yet the media is going to go with anonymous sources versus people who were in the meeting.
Absolutely. And there's the Daily Wire came out with an article. There's actually 10 members that were in that meeting that came out and said that those words never came out of the president's mouth. And there's 2 very important figures that I want you guys to understand. John Bolton and General John Kelly, both are not fans of President Trump, and both have said this is a made-up story, that this did not happen. John Bolton said himself, had the president said that, he would have made an entire chapter in his book about the president saying this. So we really need you guys to go out there and push this video and let people know that the president does not hate the veterans. He loves our veterans. He's done more for our veterans than anybody has in my lifetime. And I've been through a lot of presidents, and there's a couple of things that when you look back to see what this president has done for the veterans, he signed a memorandum that ensures permanently disabled vets get to use their student loans at any time in their lifetime with the GI Bill. Okay, so you can be 80 years old and you can use a GI Bill. The only person that did that was President Trump. It wasn't Barack Obama. It wasn't Joe Biden. I can tell you that much right now. It's called the Forever GI Bill. The other thing that to me is very important as a veteran is veterans' choice. For those of you that do not have to get yourself medically checked in the veterans hospitals, this is a huge thing for veterans because it opens them up to private and public health care. And that's very important with veterans' choice. Now a veteran can choose to go where he wants to get his care, and he's not stuck at the mercy of the federal government for health care. Angel, what else you got to say about this topic?
Well, it's just basically they're trying to make President Trump lose part of his base. That's all they've been doing for the past 4 years. If you want to get rid of the president, you got to try to weaken his base. So they've tried many avenues, many angles, and this is just one of the last-ditch efforts. Like this, okay, if maybe we can separate the military base or the veteran base that supports the president, maybe we can weaken him. Maybe we can get him to lose some of those votes in November. That's all it's about, trying to weaken his base with lies and conspiracy theories. But it's not working anymore, Ronnie. It's a laughing joke right now.
Well, and I know there's another article that I read that there's over 700 veterans that actually wrote a letter in support of President Trump. The Democrats for the last 3.5 to 4 years have done everything in their power to destroy this president. They have done everything that they can to destroy his name, his history, what he's done, his past. No matter what he does, and you know, a lot of people say if this man cured cancer, the Democrats would still hate him. You know, and to me that seems like a pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate.
Tone. Hey guys, give us a couple of minutes. We're going to be right back right after this commercial break.
A Tampa Bay pastor has been arrested for violating coronavirus social distancing rules.
We will shut you down, we will arrest you, and we will take you to jail. Period.
Safety groups are turning to drones to monitor public spaces.
I'm starting to feel like I'm in a communist country.
Protests turned destructive in downtown Seattle tonight.
There are certainly aspects of them that are true to a cause. That is a good cause.
It says it right in the name, Antifa, anti-fascism.
I went to the big guys for the money. I was ready to prostitute myself.
The Bidens have done very well, and Joe Biden's been very sophisticated and shrewd in the way he's done it. He's essentially offshored the corruption.
I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
We have to say yes to socialism, to the word and everything.
We are living in many ways in a socialist society right now.
Only in America, when the president tweets about liberation, does he mean go back to work? I think a lot of people should just say no.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain.
The next moment I looking down, my hands are being put in handcuffs, my ankles are shacked.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country.
He understands that what's at stake is the American dream itself.
The best is yet to come. Thank you. God
bless you. All right, guys, welcome back. And we're going to focus really quickly on these nonstop riots, looting, and burning down of American cities that have been going on for the past, over 3 months, Ronnie. 3 months of nonstop destruction. But you really haven't gotten much news coverage, because when you do get the news coverage, obviously it was called peaceful protesting, you know, and now that it's bad in the polls, they're switching it over. Now the Democrats are coming out and saying, oh, they're rioting, because the polls came out, showed that it was negative up on the Democrat Party. So Biden came out, the media came out at the same exact time with the same exact talking points. You know, the media from the lowest of the low to the highest of the high were saying the same exact thing. So as you look right now, they're going from city to city. And my question is, what do they think they're going to accomplish? You know, they want this so-called revolution. They want to bring down the country. But at what end? What are they going to accomplish? What do they think they're going to accomplish at the end of everything? Let's say they got this revolution accomplished. What are they going to win, Ronnie?
You know, I don't really think there's anything that they can win at this point, because it seems to me, from a lot of the people that I spoke to, they have lost the American people. They have lost their Democrat ways. They are not the same Democrat Party that they were 20 years ago, 30 years ago when our parents were voting Democrats. What's scary to me, Angel, is that the Democrats have shown us that they're willing to destroy cities and destroy lives to regain the power. And I've had many conversations with people on social media. I've had many conversations with people in person. And there's a lot of people that try to say that, oh, well, this is Trump's America. No, this is our America, for one. But more importantly, I want you guys to understand something. I asked somebody on social media today if they can name one city that is Republican-led that these riots are happening. And they never responded. Every single one of these riots is happening in Democrat-controlled cities, 100% of them. And that's the most important thing that you have to understand, is that if they are willing to allow these people to destroy their cities, they are showing us what they're about when it comes to trying to regain the power. This isn't happening in Republican-led cities. And Angel, you live in New York, man. Tell us about New York.
New York, obviously, besides, before we get to the riots, it's a S-hole. The S-hole countries, it's in New York. New York is an S-hole. Okay, so it's a disgusting S-hole. So what's making it worse now is that the riots that we were having are now expanding. Now they're going to upstate New York. We had a incident the other night in Rochester, New York, which is a few minutes from New York City. We had Black Lives Matter anarchists running through the city, going through diners where people were eating, pushing glasses, making them get off their table, and harassing and attacking people. They even attacked a bicyclist, a Caucasian man, attacked him, you know, and for a movement that was supposed to be about peace and tolerance and equality, they seem like they want control, power, and it seems like they want to minimize people who are white. And that's a fact. And some people, they don't want to talk about it, but it seems like there's some sort of reverse racism here where now they're looking at white people and they're treating them bad. And it's unfair. We're supposed to be about an equality.
Mm-hmm. You know, and you actually hit the nail on the head when you talk about how they are trying to flip the script towards the white person. A lot of these people rioting and protesting are white people.
Yes.
And what the media and the establishment has accomplished is, on one side of the aisle, they have taught people to self-hate. They have white people hating white people. And that's not okay, because at the end of the day, when you ask me, every single person matters. Okay. I support Black lives. I support white lives. I don't support Black Lives Matter, and I don't support the KKK. I support everybody, but I don't support hate organizations. And that's something that we posted on LEXIT. That's something that we posted on our regular pages. But it is very strange, it seems like, the way things are unfolding in the United States of America. And we need to make sure that we do what we can to re-elect this president and add another 4 more years of liberal tears, you know. Seattle's been a mess. Portland has been a mess. Take a look at this video. These guys are using Molotov cocktails, and they were trying to throw them at the police officers, and they actually threw a Molotov cocktail at their own protesters. Take a look at this video.
Fucking idiot.
Smother it! Smother it! Smother
it! Angel, what do you think of that video, man? Talk to me.
I feel so bad for him. Tears. No. Listen, I shouldn't laugh at anyone's pain, but listen, we're at a tipping point right now, Ronnie, where I honestly don't care. You know, these people run around, they don't care about you. They don't care about your property. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your future. They don't care about your lives. They're destroying everything. So when I see something like this happen, I just tend to chuckle and enjoy it. You know, because they deserve this. They deserve whatever comes to them. They deserve it, because for 4 months, they have helped destroyed economies in their towns. People have lost their businesses, their livelihoods, all in the name of so-called equality. Where's the equality? You know, and at the same time, they're talking about Black Lives Matter. They're destroying Black businesses. Businesses that were started from the ground up with, you know, their last bit of money and hope putting into this business, and they're destroying it. How unfair is this? Where is the Black lives? What about those people?
You know, and that actually reminds me of something. There was a Black business owner in Minneapolis, and his business was completely destroyed. And I want you guys to understand something. The conservative movement created a GoFundMe page for that business owner and raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for him to continue to stay open. As a conservative, we are caring people. We love God. We're God-fearing. We love all people, and we are hardworking people. Family matters to us, and that's what conservatism is about. You have people under the guise of equality and everyone is the same type of mentality, and they're trying to push that on other people. And it's a sad part when you have to say this, but it's not. Everybody's responsible for their own decisions that they make in life. If you go out there and you get involved in riots and you get caught on fire, that's your fault. If you are out there chasing somebody that is defending businesses and that person has a gun and you get shot, that is your fault. There is a thing that I teach my kids every day, and that's accountability. What you do in your life is going to affect you for the rest of your life, no matter what. And that's something that I always teach my kids. Guys, hang tight. We're going to be right back after this commercial break.
This is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop, and they should not.
These people are tearing up our livelihoods.
A third straight night, Portland police declared a riot.
The vast majority of the protest has been peaceful.
Over the weekend, 59 officers injured and 47 people arrested.
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio announcing a proposal to cut $1 billion from the New York City Police Department.
We need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
This has been declared a riot.
You won't be safe in Joe Biden's America.
All right, guys, welcome back. And before we go into the next segment, I just want to touch on something we left off regarding Black Lives Matter, just quickly. So Black Lives Matter, as we all know, is a Marxist movement. Their founders have stated that they are Marxists. And what hurts me is that they're fighting for a cause which will end up being the destruction of the Black people. Black Lives Matter, a Marxist movement, is nothing more. They're fighting for the destruction of themselves at the end of the day. So I just think they need to be cautious. They need to take a step back, and they need to reevaluate what Black Lives Matter is, because if they do care about Black lives, they should not follow this movement, because at the end it's going to destroy Black people. So I just wanted to mention that really quick. Now let's talk about Sleepy Creepy Joe.
Oh,
I don't know if
one of our favorite subjects.
I love him. He's like a walking meme. I love it. He's great. He's hilarious. It's this guy. First of all, is this life, Ronnie? Is this life? Like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, this can't be real. This cannot be. This man cannot be the Democrat nominee. Like, I don't understand. Like, I was wrong this whole time. I thought he was going to be pushed to the side and someone else was going to swoop in, but they chose him, Ron. What is going on with this man? How is Sleepy Creepy Joe, Touchy Joe, Sniffy Hair Joe is going to lead the Democrat Party and lead this country?
You know what? You look at it this way, though. I don't think if Biden was to win, which he won't, okay, if Biden was to win, I can assure you this, that man is not going to be the person leading this country. It's going to be Kamala Harris and the liberal establishment. There is a reason why they selected him. And it's because the guy's like 95 billion years old.
94.
They see him in the past as a centrist, that he can pull over independents. But what a lot of people don't realize is this man has gone so far to the left. He is now running on the most liberal progressive ticket that this country has ever seen. And he's always talking about how the president wants to destroy Social Security. Believe it or not, Washington Post, and I never talk about mainstream media, but believe it or not, the Washington Post fact-checked him on that, and they said that he got 4 Pinocchios, and this man is lying about so much stuff, and they're talking about when they have the presidential debates, they should do live fact checks. I wonder who they're going to try to ask to do the live fact checks, Angel. Is it CNN? Is it Washington Post? Is it lead stories from Facebook? So this guy makes blunder after blunder. What's your most cherished moment with Biden so far in this campaign?
Wow. Let me take out this book and make a list of the things. Listen, actually, it's funny because lately, I don't know if you noticed, now that he's come out of his bunker because the poll numbers are dropping, so now he's talking more. But he's talking with questions already pre-chosen for him. With the media, they pre-choose these people. Even when he went to Kenosha, and after he said, "Oh, I'm not gonna go to Kenosha. That's the, it's bad timing. Trump won. It was success." So he goes, "Well, let me follow in the king's footsteps." So he goes to Kenosha, and then everyone asking the questions in this church are handpicked. Then you had that lady that came forth and said, "Sir, I was supposed to read this question, but I can't. I got to be real." And I'm like, "Oh, so handpicked." So basically, he knows the questions, he has the answers prepared, and he still can't answer those properly. And this is a recurring thing, by the way.
Did you see where he was doing the press conference and he was reading off the teleprompter and he read "end of quote"?
Yes.
What is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with the Democrat establishment, man?
He's Ron Burgundy. That's what he does.
Ron Burgundy.
And then he did it. He also did it again. Remember, he had the event where he was talking, and then he looked over to his handler. I forgot exactly what he said to the person that worked with him. He says, "Oh, are you going to choose? Did you choose am I choosing the reporters, or do you have the ones that we chose, or something in that?" Yeah,
he said that he didn't have the list. He said, "Do you want to call on? Do you want to call on who's going to ask the questions? Because I don't have my list on me." So they hand selected the reporters that were going to be asking Joe Biden questions in his press conference. Not only did they hand select the reporters, they gave Joe Biden written statements to respond to those reporters. So I cannot wait for the debate, but I'm going to tell you what, Donna Brazile, she better not be anywhere near these presidential debates after the way she handed Hillary Clinton the questions in 2016. But I think the debates are going to be glorious. Who's going to win the debate, Angel?
Who? Let me think about this. Biden, who can't handle pre-written questions for 25 minutes, or Trump, who stands there every day for an hour and a half, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day in different locations, nonstop, taking raw questions from the media, from the people, and handles it like a champ. I don't know. This is a tough one, Ronnie. Who's gonna win that one? Wait, you know what happened? Also, let me jump in really quick. During that same little conference where he asked the people, who's gonna have the handwritten questions, whatever. They asked him about AG Barr. Remember that little incident with AG Barr?
Oh yes.
So then he says. So they questioned AG Barr because they were talking about, I guess, national security and whatnot, and then. They ask him, and then he goes, I don't trust Barr. I don't believe Barr. Why should you believe Barr? You can believe it. Everyone knows it's on Facebook. And I said, my man, rather listen about national security issues from Facebook versus the attorney general who gets it from the United States government. Explain that one, Ronnie. So, and then he also said, of course, I believe what I'm told. He said, I believe what I am told. Basically, I am a puppet.
Facts over truth, or what was it? The other thing? Yeah. I'll tell you what, man, you can't do more than feel bad for the guy. Joe Biden, he's had a terrible history as a senator and vice president in this country. The man wrote the 1994 crime bill, and he has a history of making racist remarks. As far back as saying that Indians own all the 7-Elevens. You can't own a 7-Eleven or go into one unless there's an Indian running it. You know, he created the 1994 crime bill that imprisoned tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Blacks and Latinos. He separated the families by doing this, by putting parents in prison. It broke up apart families, which actually created a more systemic problem for race in the United States his entire history. The man was against desegregation. It's all over. You can find it. The man hated desegregation. The man straight up said that he did not want his kids to grow up in a racial jungle. So to notice that there is Latinos and that there's Blacks that are actually out there supporting this man is very disturbing, because this man's got a history that has destroyed our people. He has destroyed our culture, and he has destroyed families. And then he goes and he selects Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris, as a prosecutor, has probably imprisoned just as many people as Joe Biden. And a lot of people that she prosecuted were innocent. So guys, right now on the liberal Democrat ticket, we have the president and vice president candidates that have locked up more Blacks and Latinos than any presidential campaign in history.
And we also have, he is a segregationist, as you said, and the vice president, running for vice president, Kamala Harris, is a descendant of slave owners. So you have two things the Democrat Party hates running on the top of their ticket: segregationists, descendant of slave owners. How do they end up with this ticket?
White men.
They were complaining about that in the beginning. Remember, we can't have another old white man or old white woman running our ticket. At the end, old white man running a ticket. Not only that, a man that's been in government for over 47 years and has done zero. He's saying the same promises that he's been saying 40 years ago. The same promises. Mr. Biden, what are you going to do now? What magic thing's going to come out? Like, you know what? The first 47 years didn't work. I have something new. You know, where is it coming from? There's nothing there, Ron. Nothing. But then people are, remember, he has no enthusiasm. Kamala Harris has no enthusiasm. They're only voting for him because they want to vote against Trump. That's the difference. He has no enthusiasm. He has no base. Hillary Clinton, though she was a terrible candidate, had a little movement. She had the I'm with her. She had the celebrities behind her. She had a movement. You know, she had some kind of support. He has nothing. Zero, nada, zilch. And
you know, just not to interrupt, but just to touch up on when Trump went to Kenosha, the man had, I think they said there was like 15 miles of people out there to see the president when he showed up in Kenosha. And when Biden showed up in Kenosha, there was like 200 or 300 people, and most of them were protesters, you know. So there's not as many people out there that support this vice president or former vice president that the media is telling you guys. He's not getting support that people think. And anyone that believes the polls, these polls are either oversampling or they're just flat out lying to us. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Angel. Go ahead, man.
No. To build on that, this is why they're pushing the mail-in ballots, because he has no support, Ronnie, and they know this. And I don't know if we all know that they're going to try to use this to cheat, which is why we should, in the words of great Rush Limbaugh, we should flood the zone to cover the spread of the cheating. They're going to cheat. But if we come out in numbers that they've never seen before, that cheating is not going to matter because so many people came out to vote. So that's why you got to make sure you come out and vote. And like the great Rush said, flood the zone. But to build on what we were saying earlier is that now, if you've noticed, the new push of the Democrat Party or establishment is they're not going to accept the election results this November. Bernie Sanders said it. Nancy Pelosi, Tales of the Crypt Keeper, she said it. Like a lot of, and they're all saying that we should not accept it. Hillary Clinton said it. We should not accept the results if President Trump wins. What is going on? Because what are they planning to cheat? Are they planning to extend this thing and push it out? Because remember what President Trump said. He said there is something going on where if he's not elected president by a certain date, Nancy Pelosi becomes de facto president until they figure things out. So that might be and this is something they try to push. I don't know, but President Trump did mention that once, and it stuck to me.
You know, and that just kind of gives you an idea that they're willing to do anything they can to gain power. You know, let's take it back on this. They tried to frame the president with the Russia collusion conspiracy theory.
Yep.
They tried to frame the president with the quid pro quo, actually Joe Biden's quid pro quo. The man was in Ukraine and was on video telling people on video that he told Ukraine that unless they fired the prosecutor that was investigating his son, that they weren't getting the $1 billion. What happened the next day? They fired him, and Ukraine got their $1 billion. You know, so there's a lot of stuff that the Democrats have done to President Trump over the course of the last 3.5 years. And it's very telling because that tells us exactly what the Democrats will do to regain power. And it's very scary. I'm worried about my kids' future. To me, that's the biggest thing, is the future of my kids. You know, I don't care what happens at the end of the day, as long as my kids have a free America, that they are allowed to go to school, they are allowed to go to work, they are allowed to work for themselves, think for themselves, and do the things that they have to do to be Americans. That's the only thing I want for my kids.
Amen. I'm with you on that. And you know what thing I don't understand is the media. Where is the media here? We all know they're corrupt. We all know they're lying, but you notice how the Russia hoax is over with? They don't speak about it. They don't speak about the Russia hoax, Ronnie. All their hoaxes, not just the Russia hoax, all the hoaxes that's blown up in their face, when the actual facts comes out, it's silent. They moved on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Like they make everyone numb to it, but when the facts come out, it's like, don't worry about that. That's old news. You know,
I got something new for you.
I have a new one. This is almost pure evil. And the Democrat Party are activists. Social media platforms are activists. They're all activists, and they're all against. Remember what I say? It's more than they're against President Trump. They're against what President Trump stands for. And President Trump stands for America, America's values, and freedom. Basically, they hate him because they hate us, and they want to destroy this country. So you got to make sure you go out there and vote, you flood the zone, and don't be discouraged. Continue going out there, sharing your social media posts, talking to people, because you are all making a change.
Absolutely. And you know, the more people that speak out, the better it's going to be, because the silent majority cannot be silent for much longer. It's about time that we all start speaking up. And I'll tell you this much, on my social media, I'm starting to see a lot more people that do not talk politics actually starting to talk politics and speak up for the president. So I think the silent majority has grown to a level that the left is not going to be happy with in November, which is exactly why they are presetting the framework that they're not going to accept the results of this election. What they are doing with the mailbox hoax, that is going to be their fallback on. The president didn't allow vote by mail. We are going to challenge this victory by the president. Be prepared, guys, because the Democrats are going to do everything they can for another 4 years unless we vote red down the ticket and elect every single Republican that we can, from our state legislators to our city and county legislators to the federal government. You have to vote red down the ticket, because what the Democrats have shown us over the last 3.5 to actually the last 11.5 years is that they will do anything that they can to force their agenda on the American people. You know, and when you talk about the agenda, Pelosi and Schumer keep talking about this CARES Act. Man, they can take this CARES Act and shove it, because it's full of a whole bunch of pork to fill the roles of the liberal agenda. This bill, just like the president said, this bill needs to be about the American people. It needs to be about the taxpayer. It has to help the people, not the Democrats' agenda or platform. You know, and this president has been speaking out for the people since the day he was elected, since long before that. Man, this guy was on interviews with Oprah. He was on The View years before, and he was saying the exact same stuff about China ripping us off, about unfair non-reciprocal trade deals. The president's done what he can for this country, and it's time that this country steps up and does what we can for him.
Hey, Ronnie, don't mean to interrupt you, but we got to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
All right, guys. All right, guys, welcome back to a special edition of the Right Latinos. This is our first show, and you got your boy Ronnie over here, the Conservative Latino in New Mexico, Angel Rivera in New York, PR, Puerto Rican conservative. And the last thing that we want to talk about, guys, is a grassroots campaign that the LEXIT movement is initiating, and we are working with communities throughout the country. First, we started off in Texas. It is called LEXIT Strike Force. And what this is, guys, it is a campaign that helps us get the rest of our Latino community involved, making phone calls, knocking on doors, and getting people registered for the Republican Party, because we've got to do our part to make sure that Texas stays red and the blue states turn red. Angel, what do you think about this new program, LEXIT Strike Force, that we've started?
It's the greatest thing. You know, we're not just talking the talk, we're walking the walk, and we're walking the walk because it's important. We got to get out there. We got to to, especially to these communities, and let them know that we're Latinos, first of all, that we do vote, and let them know they got to come out and their vote counts. You know, so it's very important. A lot of people think that their vote doesn't count. But if we go out there, we represent, we show our face, we'll bring people out to the polls, and we'll have a true, eventually, red wave.
I'm looking forward to it because the momentum is growing at this point. You know, when they talk about blue waves and red waves, I see a red tsunami coming in 2020. And you know what? I got to tell you this, our producer, Duke Machado, has done an outstanding job with getting the LEXIT Strike Force program set up. He's done an outstanding job with getting our shows in order. Guys, so whenever you see Duke, you guys got to give him a big shout out and a big thank you, because he is responsible for these shows that we do. He is responsible for the Strike Force campaign. We are working hard to get this president reelected, guys, and we need your help. So we will post a link in the comments for Strike Force if you guys want to help out, if you want to ask us questions about what you can do to get involved or what you can do to help. By all means, send us a message. Shoot us an email. We need everybody involved, because when you look at it this way here, the president had 63 million voters in 2016. If those 63 million people got one additional person to vote Republican, it's going to be a landslide in 2020. And that's the purpose of LEXIT Strike Force, is to get more people involved, to get more people educated on what's happening in these politics and the policies of the president of the United States, guys. So make sure when you see Duke on his show, thank him for LEXIT Strike Force, because that is an outstanding program.
Duke. I'm just having Duke on. He's the man. He's the man. The man behind the scenes, man. Definitely. He's great. He's a great guy. He works hard. So yeah, Ronnie, I'm glad this is our first show. I think we did pretty great, especially me. I don't know about you.
All right, you did good, my man. You did good.
I love Ronnie. Ronnie's the king, man. Ronnie's the king here.
No, man, it's a team thing, guys. And you know, the Right Latinos is just so a lot of people that don't know, the Right Latinos is a show that Angel and we actually started off just doing lives on our regular pages together, and we started getting a lot of people asking us to do it more and more. Then we went on our like pages and we started doing it that way. And all of a sudden, a lot of people started asking us to do it. And then we did it on LEXIT. And when we did it on LEXIT, we had countless comments and remarks about how much that they appreciate us getting the truth out there. And that's what the Right Latinos is about, guys. We're going to be doing this every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday. And I'll tell you, Angel is the guy that designed our logo, guys. Take a look at this logo. Let me see if we can get Duke to put that logo on the screen real quick. And that's an outstanding. And that right there, guys, is what we call hard work. Angel really put that together. And I think you did that, what, a couple of days, Angel?
Like an hour. Don't tell nobody. It was just quick. I appreciate it, man. I'm very humble, even though I'm amazing. I'm very humble at Miami. Nah, thank you, Ronnie, man. You know, like we're a team here. We work hard together. You know, we feed off each other, we build off each other, and we're not LEXIT just a name. It seems like we're a family, man. I'm really loving everyone, man, and everyone treats me good. We treat each other good, and we help each other. And we bend over backwards to help each other, because at the end, we're trying to push this conservative movement, and this conservative movement is bigger than me, is bigger than the Right Latinos, is bigger than LEXIT. You know, this conservative movement is the future of the country. So we're trying to make sure we get all the Latinos, all the Hispanics, to show them that, hey, like as you always say, Ronnie, you don't have Latinos don't have to vote Democrat.
Nope.
That's your key phrase, and we're gonna use it to the wheels fall off, because they don't have to. And that's our goal in LEXIT, and that's our goal with the LEXIT movement. Sorry, I said that twice, but you know, bang, bang. Sorry.
That's right. That's right. And guys, we are at LEXIT. We are actually formatting and scripting more shows. Duke Machado's show is in the process of getting an upgrade next. So we're going to continue to do the things that we can to get the word out to our followers. And as we get it closed up, guys, I just want you guys to know that we are working tirelessly for you guys. We are working tirelessly for the Latino community. And we are going to do everything that we can in our power to get your word out there and be the voice for you. We know there's a lot of people that have told us that, you know, we're their voice because they can't speak out because of work or their careers or because of their family. That's what we're here for. And if there comes a point in time, guys, to where we're going to encourage you guys to speak up too. And it's very important that we do this. Angel, get us wrapped up, my man.
That's it. We covered some great topics today, Ronnie, man. I'm happy. We did great. I'm happy. This is our first show. Like, I don't know how to wrap it up. I'm just saying, like, this is exciting. I am so full of energy right now, because this is something that I've always wanted to do, you know, is push this conservative movement, you know, because I love my people. You know, I love my Hispanic people. I love them so much. And to see them go through what they go through, I'm like, we don't have to be in poverty. We don't have to be like this. We don't have to fall under this Democrat rule. So I'm excited that you and I teamed up. We've become actually really good friends.
We have.
You know, we have become good friends, and I love it. And, you know, we're working and tirelessly, like you said, to bring this movement forward, man. And I'm glad I met you guys. And we have a lot coming forward, a lot of great shows coming forward.
Hey, and matter of fact, speaking of that, we become really good friends. My wife said that she's going to be sending you and your wife a New Mexico care package with some Hatch green chili, some Sadie salsa. And for our people in New Mexico, I already know y'all talking about that's some fire, but we're going to send you some Hatch green chili, some Sadie salsa, some tortillas. We're going to convince y'all to move out here eventually, one time or another. Guys,
I'll say you something from New York, but de Blasio has everything locked down. So unless I dress up in black and I say Black Lives Matter, I break something, steal it, and they'll say it's okay. Then I'll send you whatever I can steal, right?
Yeah, and you get away with it too. So they'll actually Biden and Kamala Harris will bail you out
in a heartbeat.
Guys, again, Ronnie Lucero. I'm the Conservative Latino with the LEXIT movement. We got my man Angel Rivera, the PR conservative in New York. PR stands for Puerto Rican. And our producer, Duke Machado. You guys have a good evening, and thanks for hanging tight.